Hi guys, my name's Chloe, otherwise known as Princess Aspian, and welcome to my channel. So, school has gone back for most Australian families now. This week alone, I have been inundated with 60 plus messages, all of them saying the same sorts of things, all regarding their children in school. Help, my child's struggling at school. Help, my child's teacher doesn't understand them. I'm getting so many mums and dads and carers and even kids themselves messaging me, all asking for help and what to do, and they don't understand. And I understand your situation so much more than I wish I could understand it. Now, obviously, I'm not a parent. I couldn't imagine ever being a parent, but I'm that kid. I was that kid that struggled so much in school. I was that kid who had teachers that would yell at them and who had classmates that would abuse them because they were different. And it makes me really sad because I know what it's like to go through that, and I've seen my parents, and I know what it's like to go through that from a parent's perspective as well. And I've seen it happen with my little brother as well, who's also on the spectrum. I'm 19 years old now, and I went through 16 years of schooling, and I'm not gonna lie, it was the toughest thing in the world. It was so difficult for me. The work wasn't hard. I was good at the work. I was a smart kid. I knew what to do. It was the teachers and the kids and the classrooms and the bright lights and the fact that I never knew what anyone was trying to say to me and I couldn't understand instructions. I was overlooked, and I don't really know why, because every child is meant to feel like they belong, and I didn't. Perhaps it was because I was different, because it didn't come as a convenience to the teachers to be able to come over and take that extra couple of seconds time to check on me, to make sure I was okay, to make sure that I understood what was happening, because I very clearly didn't. And after 16 years of schooling, I've come out on the other side and I am okay now. I am so happy with where I am in life, and I am so happy with who I am, and I got an education and I graduated college last year, for heaven's sake. I did it, but I still can't go anywhere around a school without my heart rate going up. I still can't go into my brother's primary school without feeling like I'm going to have a panic attack, without my palms getting sweaty and my head going funny and my heart rate going up. I still can't go into a school without hearing that ringing in my ears of other teachers whispering about me. I mean, for me, the past is in the past. A Frozen quote was going to go in this video somewhere, but it doesn't make those memories any easier, and it doesn't make the experience that I had any less valid. And yeah, perhaps I'm 19 now, and perhaps the struggles that I went through, and perhaps the issues that I had at school with teachers and with other students aren't there anymore, and perhaps the struggles that I had in the past are exactly that, in the past. But really, they're not. Because in a classroom, there are so many children there that all look the same and talk the same and dress the same and act the same. But in reality, there's a really high chance that there's at least one child in that class who's not the same. And this child probably tries so hard to fit in. And this child, who is just as important and wonderful and smart and intelligent and clever as any other child in that entire classroom, might just need a little bit of extra help. Might need some encouragement, a gentle hand to point them in the right direction. I know this because I was that child. Heck, I am that child. So this video is mainly just for teachers and for carers and for kinder teachers and for anyone who looks after kids with autism, Asperger's, that are on the spectrum, whatever you want to call it. This video is for the kids' parents who know what the struggle is and is trying so desperately to let other people know. This video is for me, for the other kids that are like me, for the other kids in the spectrum who are struggling with all of these things as well. And this is a letter, a message, a video to all the teachers out there from us. Number one, please don't just assume that you know what autism is. I always like to see it as autism is like a big, beautiful oak tree with branches that come out from every which direction possible. We share the same trunk, but there are so many branches and sticks and even teeny tiny little twigs that make it individual, that make it its own special little branch. If you don't know how to cope with us, if you don't know what we're doing or you need extra help, talk to us. Or if we're too young to be able to talk to us individually, talk to our parents or our carer. Don't just assume that you know something about us because you've read it in one of your big fancy textbooks, because I'm sure that those textbooks are lovely and wonderful and make you feel very clever. But I'm not a textbook. I cannot be confined to the words of a book. Number 2, we learn differently. And that's okay. We don't understand in the same way that you and other kids understand. If I try and learn that way, I won't learn. Sometimes when you use long sentences or try and string long words together, it doesn't make sense to me, even if it looks like it does. Trust me, we're really good actors. We've been doing it our whole life. I hate telling people that I don't understand the question because it makes me feel like even more of an outcast than I already feel. Sometimes language can be really hard for us, and hearing lots of words can form in a big mess inside of our heads. It doesn't really make sense, and it ends up just being this big tornado, this big hurricane of information which we can't really pick and choose from. So it's a lot easier for us to learn in pictures and slow words and drawings on the board. Please be patient with us and show us the questions rather than telling us and assuming that we're going to understand it. And ask us if we need help. I promise you, we'll blow you away with how smart we are. You just need to be able to find that key that locks this greatness, this potential that's inside of us, and I promise you, it's there. Number 3, keep an eye on us. I know in a place that's got so many children running around, it can be really hard, impossible sometimes even, to focus on one child. But that spare seconds that it'll take you to look over and see if we're okay could genuinely change everything. I know that I personally find it so hard to make friends. I never know what to say, and other people's language is confusing to me. Their ways of communicating are different than my own, are different to what I understand. And sometimes kids can be really, really mean. I think other kids are scared of people being different to them, and I don't really know why, because my mum's always told me that different is an absolutely beautiful thing. And I believe it with all of my heart. That extra little time that you can take to make sure that we're safe, that we're okay, that no one's hurting us, that we're not feeling left out or discouraged, that we're not locked in a bathroom for the entire lunchtime crying to ourselves, that could change everything. Number 4, sometimes I might need a little push, a little bit of help to make friends. I know that it may look like we don't want to play with the other kids, but it could be as simple as we don't understand how to. Starting a conversation is difficult. No matter how old you are, we can feel silly and awkward and stupid and feel like we're intruding on something if we go up to someone and ask to play with them. Maybe you could find someone for us. Find someone nice and encourage them to invite me to join in a game of soccer or skip rope or tag, or it doesn't matter what. And sometimes we don't want to play, and that's okay too. But a lot of the time, all we really want in the world is a friend. Number 5. Sometimes we really just need peace and quiet. So much happens inside of a classroom, and sometimes it can get too much and we feel like our head is just about to explode, to cave in. Sometimes we need a quiet spot so we can sit down and relax and recuperate. It doesn't have to be an entire area. We don't even have to leave the classroom. Allowing us to listen to music in our headphones and just switch off for a bit. Maybe let us read one of our favorite stories, or color, or draw. That's enough. Number 6, we're not naughty. Usually. We don't mean to be disruptive, but it's really hard to sit in a chair for long periods of time. We're learning a lot, and that hurts our head. And when our heads hurt, we need to move and get energy out of our body so we can put energy back in. Moving helps us to learn and to stay focused and to stay calm, and in turn will help us to be a better student. So it's really a win-win. We promise that we can still listen to you, and we can learn better than anybody if you just let us do our little things. We can still learn if our feet are tapping or we're rocking or our hands are moving. Number 7, focus on my strengths, not my weaknesses. Like any other human in the entire universe, we cannot learn in an environment where we're made to feel worthless, like we're not good enough. We can't learn in an environment where we're made to feel like we need to be fixed. Love us and encourage us with what we have, not with what we don't have. Look past the things that we can't do. Look for our strengths, and I promise you, you'll find them. And most of all, please be patient with us. We're children, and we learn in the same way that other children learn, with love and patience and kindness. Nurture us and look for our strengths. Help us to grow and try and understand our wonderful, unique, crazy, beautiful, wonderful minds. We're different. We're not less. And sometimes you just need to help us to get that out. Lots of love. Kids on the spectrum everywhere. Who needs brushes when God gave you your own little teeny tiny brushes anyway? So I literally just like go ahead and just kind of like rub it in with my own fingers. This is probably, I don't know, is this unsanitary? I don't know, I don't think so. I washed my hands once.